Join me in welcoming Michael Warner. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Outstanding, Steve. Great to see you today.
Yeah, so glad to have you here with us. First off, tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Absolutely. So thank you for the opportunity to do that. So again, my name is Michael Warner. I am a retired U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant, but now an educator, an author, and a coach. So after 24 years of service in the United States Air Force, I've shifted that mission, from defending the country to trying to help others navigate the different obstacles we face, whether it's fear, resilience, different types of transition, to help them see that with clarity and accuracy. My goals are normally, or my goal is simple at this point, to continue to serve, right? That's my primary goal, impact, continue to serve, this time by helping people discover their purpose, rebuild confidence and kind of lead with precision in every area of life. I am a father, I'm a husband, and I am a friend. So just really appreciate the opportunity to do that today.
I absolutely love it. And your book is called The Power of 20, How to Serve, Shift, and Succeed with Accuracy. So first off, tell us, how did you came up with the name The Power of 20?
That's a great question, Stephen. I appreciate it. So the Power of 20, as most know, a full military career, for you to be able to retire is 20 years of service, right? So once you hit 20 years, then you can retire with a retirement, right? So when I was coming up with the book, looking at not only the 24-hour period, within the book, or within a day, and any given day, military clock is 24 hours. I wanted to also focus on the aspect of serving 20 years, right? That's I served 24 years, but I was eligible 20 years to retire. So that's really where the name came from, just the power of serving, the power of doing a complete career and kind of hitting that final aspect, and how we can serve, shift, and succeed within that time, with hitting that target.
Absolutely. Was there any correlation between that and the suicide rate and the 20 that is often talked about in with especially veterans?
No, that's a great point, Stephen. I appreciate you bringing that up. But this was coming up with the name and coming up with the process, of putting this together. Was the focus was strictly on the time we are able to serve in the military.
Okay. There are so many things, and people that are familiar with or military families, they totally get it. But anybody that isn't, it's almost like a mystery to them. So can you demystify a little bit? I mean, I realize they need to get the book to get all of it, but just a little bit, what military life is like and how it's so different from, being a civilian?
Yeah, absolutely. So, many veterans and civilians alike, right? They struggle with different aspects of fear, uncertainty, identity loss, imposter syndrome, right? During any type of life's transitions, right? After years of kind of structure, purpose, and service, especially in the military, many find themselves asking, what do I do now, right? It's a question that we all kind of approach, but it looks different a lot of times from military members, right? So understanding that this isn't just a military problem, it's a human one, right? Fear, self-doubt, like I said, imposter syndrome, it affects anyone trying to find direction. And, after a major or minor change, right? We talk about transition. It can be something as simple as, moving towns, or as simple as changing phone carriers, right? There's numerous types of transition, but the Power of 20, what it does is it offers a framework, to show how members of the military, how we serve, shift, and push through a lot of this adversity and fear and all these things that we've talked about a little bit already, and succeed with accuracy, right? We're taught to do that in numerous ways. So the book, it truly shares real stories of 24 veterans, right? Across every branch of service, exploring how they face these fears, whether it's loss, reinvention, moving from career, to civilian life whatsoever, right? It it really, the primary focus is, to help people, just humans in general, understand transforming fear into focus, right? Redefining service beyond the uniform, or, whatever it is they're choosing to do, strengthening, mental health through movement, community, right? Just finding purpose when no one is giving orders, right? These are a lot of transitions that military members face. But the primary impact, Steve, that we were hoping to do with this, when putting this together, is to show the impact of what it means to serve, right? Whether you're a member of the military or you're a family or friend of somebody in the military, right? Helping people understand that when you wear this uniform and the things that you continue to endure and push through, helping people really see what that impact is and just how much we can push through.
Absolutely. And of course, today, as we're talking live, it is Veterans Day. By the way, thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Talk about how important this day is for you and for all the others who are veterans.
Absolutely. So again, thank you very much. And I know we are live, and I want to say it as well. Thank you to all our veterans out there for their service. Everybody's service looks differently, but when you choose to put that uniform on, right? I say it in the book as well. It's less than 1% of society chooses to do that, and I just have a large amount of respect and admiration for anybody who chooses to serve in any capacity. The book, what it truly does and why it's important, again, we talk about impact, and it's a lot of the focus of what we're looking at. As somebody who works in that professional development or personal development place right now, right? That's what we're always looking at, like looking at people's potential, looking at people to show up as the best versions of themselves. And unfortunately, when it comes to military service members, when they have a transition as big as coming out of military into civilian life, right? Or, if they're changing jobs in the military, or if they're moving, or if they're coming from deployments to peacetime, there's so many different transitions that we face and have to deal with, right? And helping them understand that these transitions are just another step in the right direction, right? So the book, it gives a voice to that unseen struggle of veterans, right? While also providing the lessons for the ability for them to apply to anyone facing transitions, right? It bridges that gap between military and civilian life, leadership and healing, right? Service and self-discovery, right? Because at the heart of it, the power of 20 truly reminds us that service never really ends, right? It just changes form. And that's where the importance comes in, Steve. Every reader, veteran or not, they can find themselves in these pages in the books and these different stories, right? About resilience and perspective and the belief that you already have what it takes to move through. And what's so unique and, in my opinion, such a phenomenal aspect of the book, Steve, is it's not just about war stories, right? It's about life stories, on how to teach people to move forward when the path isn't clear, right? So in the military, that looks different than the civilian side, right? So helping people really see that impact of what it means to make those transitions.
Absolutely love that. So you have a company. Besides being a teacher and doing those kind of things, you have a company. Talk to us a little bit about, the kind of things your company does and how, you help people.
Absolutely. So the name of the company is Summit Performance Solutions, right? And what it does is stimulate learning and development at the highest levels, right? And that can mean, we focus on 3 tiers: consulting, coaching, and collaboration, right? So consulting can be anything from helping people, create training plans to, doing different types of analysis to see, how to get people through those different gaps, right? It's kind of one of those catch-alls where it really, the expertise of the individuals involved with the company, just helping people kind of see or consult on those different aspects of performance and personal development. Large part of what we do, like I said, that tier 2 is the coaching piece, right? And we have a specific, process of, it's titled Echo to Echo Coaching, right? And it has different forms. And what it does is it's really helping people see the echo inside of them, right? To find those internal solutions so they can, live at their top potential. And then we also do a lot of collaboration work where we'll connect different organizations, we'll connect people, we do group sessions, anything under the sun, right? It really depends on what we're looking at. So, in short, that's kind of the main focuses of it, in addition to trying to put out content and literature such as the books.
Absolutely love that. And give us the URL where a person can go to connect with you.
Absolutely. It's www.summitperformancesolutionsllc.com. And all information is on that page, to include where you're able to get copies of the book if you'd like, and then how to contact us as well.
I totally love that. Well, before I let you go, give us, there's so many great things in the book, but just take one little part out of it and give us a piece of advice for how we can serve, shift, and succeed with accuracy, that you're teaching in the book.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you giving me the platform to do that, because full transparency, right, Steve? I am one of the 24 individuals in the book that provides their own experiences as well. And, to give a little insight into one of the chapters, right? When I joined the military, I didn't know what was going to happen, right? The fear of the unknown was huge inside of me. My dad was a huge aspect, and proponent for my success in life. And there's a chapter in the book, where I talk about how I'm sitting in his car, outside the recruiter's office, afraid, unsure, not knowing what's going to come. And he said to me, I know what you're capable of, right? And now it's time for you to figure that out, right? You're going to do great. You're going to push through. But those words echoed with me for a 24-year career, right? I know what you are capable of. So, those words, they really carried me through my time in service. They continue to guide me for my work today, right? Because the Power of 20, it's not just about me at all, right? It's about the men and women who have learned to harness fear, purpose, and lead again, right? And figure out those directions to push, right? It's a reminder that these transitions, whether, military or otherwise, can be faced with courage, accuracy, and in the belief of who we are.
I absolutely love that. Well, the book is called The Power of 20, How to Serve, Shift, and Succeed with Accuracy, by Michael S. Warner. And Michael, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you being a guest here with us on the show today.
Thank you very much, Steve. And I, if you don't mind, I wanted to highlight one other aspect, right? The book is available on Amazon or the official book page, on my website that I provided. But, in support of Veterans Day today, all of my fellow veterans and those supporting veterans, the book is currently available for free, for the next 3 days or so, right? It's I want to make sure that veterans understand that too. So,
absolutely. All right. Well, thanks so much, Michael. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.